Dana Denha here, and this is the Ann Arbor Summer Festival series, where we'll chat with people in the know about Ann Arbor's most anticipated festival. Top of the Park offers so much in the name of art, from one-of-a-kind performances to movies. Joining me is Amy Nesbit, Executive and Artistic Director, and Kari, Landry, Marketing and Programs Manager for the Ann Arbor Summer Festival. Welcome back, ladies.
Hey there.
Thanks for having us back.
So let's start off with what is happening for opening night, and when is opening night of Top of the Park?
All right, well, Top of the Park this year opens on June 9th, Friday, June 9th. Typically, Top of the Park opens the second June of each year, and we start all of our activities at 5 o'clock sharp, 6 nights a week for 21 nights. Wow. So if you can't put that on the calendar and find some way to come to Top of the Park, I just don't know what else to do for you.
And Mondays are your blackout nights?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mondays, the one night we're dark a week. Yeah, so on opening night this year, which is Friday, June 9th, we have got some great activities. So in the kids zone, we have the Ann Arbor Symphony presenting the Instrument Petting Zoo, where kids get to touch and play with instruments that they otherwise might not be able to. So it's super fun, really popular. We have a lot of local performers on the Rackham stage that night, which is our larger stage. So we have Ingrid Racine, who's a really well-known local jazz performer, and her group, followed by Jive Colossus, which is a big, fun party band. And the final performer on the Rackham stage opening night is the ever-popular Third Coast Kings, who are a great dance band, and the street will be filled with dancers. It'll be really, really fun. And we're gonna have perfect weather, so it'll be great.
We have to. The weather has to be perfect. The whole, every 21 night of the festival, we're gonna have sunny, warm. So let's talk about, we've talked about opening night, but let's kind of go through some of the different things that happen at Top of the Park. So one of the big things that you guys do every year is for your mind and body, the retreat series. So what is new, or maybe can we see again at the retreat series in 2017?
Sure. So the retreat series happens every night on the Power Center lawn from 5 to 6 p.m. So it's an hour-long session that you can do. It's completely free. And we have a lot of really popular yoga studios that return every single year, so like A2 Yoga or the Ann Arbor School of Yoga. But we also try and do a lot of really new things and a lot of really creative things with the retreat series every year. So this year, this is our first time that we have an open meditation class that you can do out at Top of the Park. We're also doing a capoeira, which comes back every year and is super fun. Tai Chi is also out there as well. And in addition to that, you can do some really cool things like ninja martial arts and ninja training, a little karate. And then also, there's some cool, really kind of intense workout things that are happening called a pound workout or some barcode kind of things. So there's really a great spectrum of health and wellness activities that are happening in our retreat series this year. So something for everybody, and you can try it all out from 5 to 6 p.m. every single night.
Yeah, and I also like to remind people too, if you're really not sure if you like hula hoop fitness, there's really there's no barrier to trying it. And there's no physical ability needed at a certain level to do any of these things. A lot of people actually bring younger kids to maybe try some of these things for the first time, again, because it's on an open lawn. So if someone's not enjoying it, there's nothing lost,
just
nothing
walk
gained.
away.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there something, do people come to you, because you seem to have like these cutting edge sort of fitness things happening? Are people coming to you, or are you guys just kind of on the, you got your ear to the...
It's a little bit of both. We actually have an application up on our website throughout the entire year, and we try and get new people and new organizations to apply with these new cutting edge ideas. So we want to try and do new things every year at the festival. And then we also kind of look out into the community and see what fun things are happening, and we reach out to people that we really want to work with as well.
Yeah, which is actually a kind of a way that a lot of our programming is influenced. So there's a hybrid there of what we're artistically and sort of intellectually intrigued by that's happening in our community and in our neighboring communities, to bring new things as well as community favorites throughout all of our series and our programs. And we also get a lot of feedback from the community in a number of different formats, and people who volunteer for us and our board. So it's a nice mix. Sometimes it's just kind of underlying and underscoring what we're already planning on doing, and we're very happy to see that. And other times it maybe raises interest in an activity that we otherwise weren't really sure if people would care about, and we're hearing from the community, we want to do this is really interesting.
Are the retreat series always out on the Power Center lawn?
Yes.
So you never should have a problem finding the location to where you need to go to get your fitness kick in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they're early in the day, and so then you can go and enjoy other aspects of the festival too while you're out there.
Absolutely. We kind of call it the alternative happy hour. So you can come right from other activities like work or school or what have you, and the parking garage is right there at Fletcher. Super easy. We see people with their yoga mats slung on their back then come to top of the park, maybe get some food, maybe have a glass of wine because they just earned it, or take salsa lessons with the bands on the street if they're really into a super fitness regime. But we have the coconut water, we have the rehydration, all that stuff's there at top of the park. So it's kind of nice that people can make a night of it.
So you mentioned, we were talking about how people are constantly contacting you about things that maybe they'd like to see at top of the park, but the movies have always been something that have been you working with the public to figure out what movies we're going to see at the top of the park festivities. So what can we see are some of the highlights from this year?
Yeah, we work with, certainly we sort of couch the options for the year, because we also like to have a mixture of community favorites and new movies and what we can get licenses to. So we'll put out what we call Pick a Flick every year, and the public help us choose, though it's not entirely a popularity choice, as everything is that we do, but we love that input to see what's rising to the top that people are super excited to see. So this year we've got some great movies on the lineups. We've got everything from cult classics like Groundhog Day with Bill Murray to brand new, super popular, so many people are excited to see La La Land, which actually has connections to former U of M graduates who were producers of the project. And
I mean, this is kind of a really cool year too, because it's the first time we've ever shown a Star Wars movie out at top of the park.
Really?
Yeah. So
well,
we're
maybe the first time in a number of
years. Oh
yeah,
it's been quite a bit. And so we're showing Star Wars: The Force Awakens, the brand new one, right before the new movie comes out this winter. And so I think that one's going to be really super popular to see outside under the stars.
It's kind of our version here in the community of a drive-in. Because we don't have anything like that. And it's so different to experience a film under the moonlight and stars with a bunch of people on the lawn than, yes, you could watch it on your device, or you could, go to a theater. For some of these, not as much currently, but
no, there's definitely some that you're never going to have a chance to see in a theater again. I mean, I don't see them playing Beetlejuice in the theater.
Not likely, not likely. Right. And get a little popcorn and get a blanket out, and there are chairs there for people who just arrive, so don't feel like you have to bring things like that. But it's kind of a unique way to enjoy a beautiful summer evening. And yeah, you've probably seen Beetlejuice before, but it's been so long, the jokes are still good. And being there with your community, it's just a really unique experience. So we encourage people to check that out. We leave all the trailers on our website, so parents especially who want to review what they're about to take the whole family to see, you can be reminded if that's the film you thought you wanted to see. Like, we are showing the classic original Willy Wonka because of course we lost Gene Wilder this past year. So there's some hooks to some of the reasons why we're showing certain films. There's a number of 30th anniversary films we're showing. And we figure what better place to celebrate it than top of the park.
Well, and the interesting thing is I felt like there was a lot of new movies this year that were unexpected. Like you mentioned, La La Land, Hidden Figures. I definitely didn't expect to see that on the lineup.
Yeah, that was one of the wild card write-ins that a lot of people put on the list.
Really?
That and La La Land. People were super interested in seeing those, so we were happy to make that happen.
So those could be movies that you potentially haven't seen before, and you can see them for free. The other thing I like about the movies is that it's not like going to a theater where you have to be really quiet. Like you can actually talk to your friend next to you. I mean, not screaming or anything, but you know, you can like kind of have a little commentary to the movie and not feel bad about it.
Right, exactly. And actually, kind of in league with that, we're working again with our friends at the Ann Arbor District Library to do Trivia Tuesdays. And I'll tell you, that is much harder than the trivia at the pub quiz. Those librarians
really
have some great trivia.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
And this year, yeah, they do. And this year, we're doing that in a new space that we call the Annex. So it's an additional separate tent that we're raising on Washington Street, really close to LS&A, very close to the party tents. But that's going to have special events in it, and that's where we'll have Trivia Tuesdays with the library. There will be prizes, but those are connected to the movies that night. So it'll be trivia about Hidden Figures, which will be really fun.
Oh, yeah.
And we partner with our friends at the Ann Arbor District Library in a number of projects. The district's summer games. There's a lot of activities at top of the park. We'll be partnering again with them with our Kids Rock series, which is every Sunday night. And then this Tuesday, Trivia Tuesdays.
Brand new.
Brand new. And we're doing an event with them that they've done around town called the Buzzed Bee. It's an adult spelling bee. So those brainiac 6-year-olds we know.
Heard about this.
Yeah, this is not for the would-be, like champion spelling kids, because they're going to show up all the adults who are going to just be, at a loss. It's a little more lighthearted than that, but our friends at the Ann Arbor District Library are helping us produce that at the Annex. So when you see that on the calendar and you say, "Where's the Annex?" It's very close to the Grove, and the volunteers at top of the park will help you find anything that you can't find when you arrive.
And everything's free in the Annex. So like because a lot of times when you play trivia at places, you have to pay a fee to
Right.
Yeah. All of these events at the Annex are free and open to the public. Also at the Annex, we'll be working with our friends at Michigan Radio to present Issues in Ale, which is a slightly political, it's a political event where there's a panel discussing typically a political topic. So it's the radio personalities from Michigan Radio and other folks that they would like to have as part of this presentation. We're also doing a night called Nightlife Arcade, which is old-time video games.
Oh.
So think Donkey Kong. And that's going to also be at the Annex. So
or as my nephew says, Monkey Kong.
Monkey Kong.
So look on our website for a lot more detail about each of those events. But there's a number of them, so that's the one new area of new
It sounds
programming.
pretty exciting to go check out.
Yeah.
And it's pretty adult, that fairly.
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah.
Most of those events.
Yeah.
Yeah, but an alternative, when we're talking about all the things that we do for families and kids, would be our series called the Kid Zone. And we have a lot of new things happening there. And very similar to what Kari's description was of retreat, Kid Zone happens every single night from 5 p.m. till 8 p.m. at top of the park for kids and their families. And we have 21 different community partners who help us program that. So one night it could be Leslie Science Center, another night it could be Ann Arbor Symphony, and there's always great stuff to do. A lot of craft events, a lot of takeaway events where kids are making things. Kids of different abilities and different ages are welcome. And it's something different for kids to do who might not be as interested in what's happening on the stage with the bands as their parents might be. But as with everything at Top of the Park, we still have all our local food vendors. We publish those menus in advance. You can look on our website, make sure there's something that Johnny can and wants to eat. And so if it's not something they want to do at, say, Nightlife Arcade and play Donkey Kong, there might be something to do at Kid Zone Tent. The movies are later. We do see a lot of families and kids come enjoy those movies, though the movies start at 10 o'clock because that's when it's naturally dark out in June. Which a lot of people say, oh, won't you show them earlier? We just can't.
The screen, you wouldn't be able to see anything on the screen.
Yeah. So people should go to our website to check all of the Kid Zone activities too. And at the Kid Zone tent, we have a handout, a walk-away calendar. So parents can take those away and figure out which nights they want to come with which kids who are interested in science, who are interested in art, maybe learning karate with Keith
Hefner's karate.
Yep. So really fun stuff. All of that's free.
And I mentioned this before, but it's educational too. So it's like fun and educational. So they're learning something even though they might not be in school anymore. So you can get out of the house, have an activity for them. I mean, that's the awesome thing about the Kids Zone tent, because I think a lot of times in the summer, you don't have a lot. I mean, you have to find stuff for the kids to do at home. So
we would like to say you can find most of that at Top of the Park for 21 nights.
Yeah,
Let us take care of it. Yeah. Well, and maybe you can talk about bike night.
Oh yeah, sure. So we're back every Tuesday this summer at the festival, where we have our bike nights, and I think this is our 3rd year doing it. And so we partner with a number of community organizations, and we are offering basically free safety checks on bikes and free tune-ups, and that's every Tuesday from 6 to 8 p.m. So you can come on down to Top of the Park, you can lock your bike up at one of the many free bike racks out there, and then you can also come over to the bike night area and get your bike checked and be on your way. So yeah, it's
do you find a lot of people utilize this?
Yeah, it's becoming really popular over the past several years.
Yeah, a lot of people bike in Ann Arbor,
Tons of people.
You would expect that. I mean,
Yeah.
what a great service to
Yeah,
get your bike tuned up.
Right. Yeah, and also just riding with your family down to Top of the Park is really fun. And I think it's, for a lot of families, it's sort of a great, easy destination. They can ride together, and then they go get their air pressure checked or what have you. And it's just it's a great alternative transportation option too. And for people who maybe haven't been to Top of the Park before, or they're new to town, or they're not quite sure where they're going, we have really detailed resources on how to get there that tell people different parking options, bike options, alternative transportation, pedicabs, taxi cabs, all of that stuff, where the best accessibility parking is if you've got someone with special needs. All of that's on our website. How to get in touch with the bus schedule, how long they run, and how to do all of that for Top of the Park. So we definitely encourage people to spend some time on our website to really figure out and plan their visit.
Do you still have the app for your phone too?
This year we do not. But instead, what we've done, in every single event page on our website, there's a beautiful little add to my calendar. So what we found is that people were using their own mobile device and going back to our website anyway.
Okay.
So they download it, but you can add it to whatever calendar you want on your desktop, on your phone.
Yeah.
You can share it with friends.
It's as good as using an app.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what we found is that's been really helpful for people. And what we will be, again, providing in an even more robust format this year is what we call Festival at a Glance, which is a single calendar, paper calendar for everyone. We'll be handing those out at the farmers market and different events all over town. People can stop by and get them at our office in advance, and then they'll be on the site handed out every night, so that you can go home and circle what you want, put it on the fridge, let your family know this is where we're going. If you like old school paper, we've got that for you too.
Okay, so one thing that we really haven't mentioned is the music, which is a huge part of Top of the Park.
Very big part.
It is a big part. Well, we're really proud of this season, as we have in recent seasons, of creating and presenting a mix of what we call community favorites, the names everybody knows and loves, maybe doing new work with new players, maybe doing the songs that everybody remembers well as be able to present new artists in our community who maybe you've never seen before, and touring artists from elsewhere around the U.S. and in some cases from abroad who happen to be on tour, kind of like what we do with the main stage, that we were able to be included in their national tour. So I'll start by mentioning some of the highlights of the national artists that we would encourage people to get to know and mark their calendar and really make an effort to come down and see.
Because these are free.
These are all free. A number of these are either Grammy nominated or Grammy winning performers, which is no small thing to be able to present them for free at Top of the Park. And most of these performers we really skew, particularly on the larger stage, to be really engaging, dance-friendly, just wonderful, wonderful performers. I mentioned before we're doing our Kids Rock series with the Ann Arbor District Library. So those are artists that are performing works that are kid-friendly, but adult-friendly too. They're smart and they're really good musicians. It's not dumbing down to kids, and adults really enjoy them too. So we've got Jazzy Ash coming in from New Orleans. So it's New Orleans jazz and Creole music. Super, super fun band, Grammy nominated. So that's on one Sunday. We have Lucky Diaz and the Family Jam Band, another Grammy-nominated kids band. So they're doing songs both in English and in Spanish. Super, super fun. Watch the video. Don't miss that one. But one that I'm incredibly excited to bring, because we've been trying to bring them in for years, is the amazing Bhangra rock band Red Barat. They are July 1st, and they are off the hook amazing. So much fun, big dance band. For people who don't know Bhangra music, it's East Indian or Indian basically party or wedding music. And this is a band who's based in Brooklyn and who is kind of the darling of a lot of world music festivals around the globe, really. And they've got these beautiful big instruments. They're really engaging to the crowd, and they're going to get people on their feet and going. They are just, this is one not to miss, because people always say, Amy, there's 80 bands.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm going to not miss something, some band at Top of the Park, what can I not miss? Of course, I can't just say just one. It's usually about 12 bands. And so I usually just highlight people's schedule and I say, don't miss. Red Barat is going to be one that people want to not miss. Lucky Diaz, don't miss them. Jazzy Ash, don't miss her. And we're really excited to bring Flint Eastwood. So if anyone is dialed into the alt-rock up-and-coming rock scene, Flint Eastwood is actually based in Detroit and is charting on the Billboard charts right now. She's got a new album coming out. I want to say it's out like just in a couple weeks, like in about a week from now. And she is just fantastic. Our friends at 107.1 often feature her work. That's going to be a night not to miss. That's going to be super, super fun. We've got Ann Arbor favorites. The Ragbirds are coming back for a Friday show on the 23rd of June, and that is a family-friendly, dance-friendly, fun night that will have Top of the Park super crowded, but in a really fun way.
Yeah.
So street dancing, folks of all ages, and the Ragbirds put on a fantastic show. On opening night, we mentioned Third Coast Kings, super fun. Another Grammy winner we have back, based in our own community, is Mad Cat. So he'll be back with his blues, Mad Cat Blues Journey. So it's his big blues band. So that'll be super fun. Lady Sunshine and the X Band, the Sun Messengers from Detroit, who are the Pistons sort of in-house bands.
Yeah.
Super fun. And then we're going to have a huge night of Latin music and free salsa lessons.
Oh, that's exciting.
So 3 salsa bands with salsa lessons, like one after another. So this is going to be great salsa lessons from our friends at Dance Revolution, who are right downtown Ann Arbor. And so if you're a little shy, you can watch people who really know their stuff. Maybe you wait till it gets a little bit darker and you can kind of be in the back. But it's great. You don't have to have a partner. You can just show up and enjoy the grooves. So there are just under 90 artists performing at Top of the Park this season.
A lot,
Yeah, I mean, for 21 days, that's a huge number of artists.
Yeah, you're going to find something that you love, and what we really hope is you're going to discover something that you love. Maybe you knew a certain band and you stay for the band that's after or before, or you come early. We hope you discover some great music, because we've got amazing talent in this region, and it's one of the places that you can maybe experiment a little bit. You've maybe seen a name before, but you've never seen them. This is the place to come down and see them.
And like you said before, if it's something that maybe you're not that into, there's always something else you can go do too. So like, it's not like you're trapped in like a venue somewhere. You can go, maybe this isn't the thing for me, so I'm gonna go hang out over here, drink some beer or whatever. You play some trivia, whatever you want to do, you know?
Exactly.
I just feel like the possibilities are endless. But we were talking before we started rolling about how you're like the small engine that could. And, you know, there's only like 3.5 employees, and you need lots and lots of volunteers.
Oh yeah, we couldn't do what we do without our big team of volunteers that help us out every summer. So we have just shy of about 300 people in our community that come together and really make this festival happen, and we couldn't do it without all of their help. So we have a lot of ushers that help us out inside our main stage shows at Hill Auditorium and the Power Center. And then we also have a lot of individual volunteers and groups and teams of people that volunteer out at Top of the Park. So you can volunteer as a business or an organization and come down down and help out as that company for that night, or you can just come down by yourself or with your family or with your friends and help out and volunteer. And we really appreciate all the support that we can get from all of these local people out at Top of the Park.
So you mentioned ushering. What are some of the other things that people might be doing?
So inside it's pretty much just ushering, but outside at Top of the Park, there's a lot of really fun things that you can be doing. Usually our volunteers are the first people that people see when they walk into the festival.
Yeah.
So it's that first impression, welcoming people, helping people find where things are on the festival grounds, also helping people know what's actually happening that night, and basically showing here are the cool things that you can do that evening as well. We also have a lot of volunteers that help out with these big spectacles out at Top of the Park, because there are lots of crowds and we need a lot of people to help out with those kind of things. So there's really a wide variety of things that people can help out with. And
they can just go to the website.
They can go to the website. We have online applications that you can fill out, and you can basically tell us the things that you're interested in and what you want to volunteer for and the kinds of things and your availability too. So we lay that all out there, and yeah, we'd love to have as much help as we could get.
The other thing I'd like to mention while we're chatting is the importance of donating when you come to Top of the Park, because everything is free, but you need money, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting balance, because there's a lot of myths that I think people don't really know how this whole thing comes together. So we like to dispel those myths. We have some fantastic founding partners, namely the city and university, both of whom help us each year, but really only provide 2% of our need each. So it's a total of 4% of everything we need. So it's not that your city taxes are just paying for it. It's not like the university is just off writing it all off.
Yeah.
We actually need support from individuals who are visiting, who are, maybe they're putting some money in the kiosk when they leave, or they're rounding up their payment on their credit card when they're buying a beverage. They can do that and make that a donation. So all of those donations count and help a lot. If everyone who came to Top of the Park made a small donation, doesn't have to be much, every time they came, it would make a huge difference. Because you see people walking around with the stickers, that's because they donated and they have pride in Top of the Park and in their community and festival, and they want it to stay free. We don't have gates. Most festivals do. We don't. You're always allowed in, even if you don't have any way to donate. But there's a wonderful rapport there with each visitor deciding to put a little bit in every time they come because they had a great time and they want it to stay free. It means a great deal to us.
All right. Well, if you just want to tell, if each of you want to tell your reasoning why people should come to Top of the Park or the Ann Arbor Summer Festival in general.
Oh man, I think that the main reason is you're going to come and you're going to experience something that you never expected when you walk in there. You're going to come for something and you're going to walk away with something that you never knew you would, and that's the really amazing thing about coming to a festival, is it's something new every single day, something new every single year. Even if you've been to Top of the Park for 10 years, you're going to see something different this year.
I would say the festival as a whole, both indoors, outdoors, all the different things that we do, is to me the quintessential best thing about summer in Ann Arbor. And it's the place where people of all walks of life, all backgrounds and cultures all come together. It's the closest thing that we have to a community green. And so if you want to participate and get to know your community, come to this festival, and you're going to run into people you know and meet new people. It's the best thing that's happening in summer in Ann Arbor, if you ask me.
I agree. Well, thank you both for coming on the show again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you'd like to watch this and other CTN series, visit a2gov.org/watchctn. Thanks for tuning in, and remember to get outside and enjoy all that the Ann Arbor Summer Festival has to offer.